So my life changed within like 60 days, technically. Yeah, 60 days.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Rewire Your Life podcast. I am Dr. Alok Trivedi, aka Dr. Rewire. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I got a super unique podcast, two super unique conversations I'm going to have. I'm going to have a conversation with someone who was basically living in her car. And after rewiring her brain, literally went ahead and changed it to making over 6 figures in a matter of like 2 or 3 months. Like, it's a pretty crazy story. It's pretty wild. And this is the power of the Rewire technologies that people use. And so I want to welcome to our show, Tasha. Tasha, thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, so humbled by your growth, your work and what you've done. You know, I got to just some questions. We're going to chat for maybe 15, 20 minutes here, but I'd love to just kind of know where you're from, what you do, and kind of where was your life when you first started this journey?
Oh, geez. Okay. So this was back in 2019, right before the pandemic happened. I'm originally from Ohio. I was married at the time, going through a divorce, and my ex-husband had an affair and left me. And at that time, I was losing everything in October. And I remember seeing your program online, and I was just watching all your videos for a couple of months. And I'm like, I'm going to do that financial rewire class. And I did that. And during all this chaos that was going on, I lost everything. I was actually living in a mobile home, a trailer. I remember
how long did you have to live there?
About a year, but then I lost my job. I lost everything, and my self-worth, my value went down so much that I just lost everything. Every job I tried to apply to, I wouldn't even get hired, or Staples, and I was consulting. And I work in IT consulting field, and at the time I lost all the work, and my self-value was so low because, you know, the divorce and everything that happened. I just lost everything. And I remember packing me and my kids up, and we had 2 or 3 suitcases, and we went to Ohio to stay with my sister. And I was doing the program. All I had was the internet and a phone, and I was doing the program and journaling.
So were you doing the program while all this was going on? Were you doing this after the program, or kind of like where were you in this? So
I remember
it hits the fan, and then it's like you're like, oh, let me do this work type thing, or was it hits a fan? I'm kind of medium doing the work, and it's like I better get to it. Like, where were you inside that process?
So in the program, I had been listening to your videos a little bit, and then when it hit the fan, it was like I got to continue doing this. And it was through the process of me losing everything and then doing the work and doing the program. I remember I was like during the last, maybe halfway through the program, and I had the interview for the 6-figure job, and I'm like, holy cow. So I think about 2 months of me actually doing the work and journaling and writing the stuff down, things started to click and my value started to go up. And then I got the job offer, and I'm like, I'm home. The job offer was at McDonald's, and I'm homeless. Like, I'm literally sleeping on my sister's couch with my 3 kids, trying to figure out, what are we going to do? What? And I got the offer, and I was doing the work. I started the program. I already had lost everything. I already was driving to Ohio to live with family members, and I was still taking the time to do it. Like, there was times I was in the car driving, and I'm like, oh, I got to turn off the video because I don't want them to see my situation because I was so embarrassed. But the value of the work is just doing the work. It changed my life. It changed my life, and it changed my self-value. And just I recommend everybody is like, you get to this program, it will change your life. And the skills that you taught in there just tremendously helped me so much, where, you know, me being adopted, dealt with a lot of rejection, and then the divorce, I dealt with rejection, and it was like my values going down. You said a lot of things about your self-worth is tied to your money. And I'm like, holy cow. Well, that's why I don't have any money. I'm homeless. So doing the work helped, reevaluate my self-worth and my value, where I could get an offer. And I was like, well, I want to choose the job that's good for me and my family. And that's good for me and the lifestyle that I want to live. I'm tired of these little freelance jobs I'm getting and losing, and all the stuff that was going on. I'm like, just focus. We're going to work and do the work. We're going to do what Dr. T says. We're going to get it done. It hurts. It's painful. I cried a lot, but I did it. and it changed my life. And so I just want to say thank you so much, because the lifestyle I have now is way different than what it was in 2019 when I was living in a trailer, and
That's
then
so
living in
amazing.
my car, and then living with my sister. So my life changed within 60 days, technically. Yeah, 60
60 days,
days.
just like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like that.
It's so amazing. Like, and honestly, like, it's so great to hear these stories because people don't realize, like, here, like, you could change your life. You just got to do the work. Like, it's not magic. It's not, it's not hocus pocus. It's not
No,
like you will change the course of your life because you change yourself and you change how you function, how you think. And
yeah,
when you rewire your money, right, and you change that money factor inside of you, there's a money frequency, right? We got to
yeah,
know what that money frequency is. And we get that money frequency, then we can grow and build. And here's the interesting thing: people think their problem is money. And now you know a little bit, and there's still more work for you to do. I know
yes.
there's still more work for you to do, but that's okay. We're the first step, right?
Yeah,
But people think that the problem is money, but it's never the problem. Money is the symptom. The problem is internal,
yeah.
always, 100% of the time. And people they don't realize that. So if you looked at this program and said, "Hey, not even just a program, just your life," like, I mean, you're at a different place today than you were several years ago. And
Yeah.
thank you for thanking me, but thank you for doing the work to get the result inside of that as well. If you looked at where your journey is, where you're headed, where you want to go, I mean, what do you think is the possibility? How do you get now to the next step beyond that?
Well, I think I have the skills to do it now. I know I have the tools to do it. And I guess I'm the only person that can prevent me from getting to my mission and my goals and values now. And it's just
Yeah.
facing the reality of, hey, there's these issues that are creating blockers in my life. I need to address those and do the work on it. And then taking the time to really, go through the exercises and write it down and identify what's blocking you in those areas and face those people, truths about yourself.
Mhm.
I got stuff I'm working on, but I believe it's possible. And I guess I just got to identify what's holding me back and then focus and do the work on that area and then shift to another area, because I guess my values and the things it change constantly. But it's there. I have tools that to help me get to my goals now. Before, where it
How's
was like
this
this, yeah,
how's this impacted your family?
a totally different lifestyle for my kids.
How many kids do you have?
Yeah, I have 3 kids. So,
Okay.
and yeah, yeah. And then some of the stuff I'm trying to give to them and teach them to, like, hey, write down your self-love, self-value. And some of the stuff I'm trying to, like, give to them so they can be successful. I have an 18-year-old going off to college. And I'm like, okay, well,
Are you an 18-year-old going to college?
yes.
So do I.
Yeah,
So do
yeah,
I.
yeah.
It's a
So
fun experience.
the more I can master myself, the more I can teach them to master themselves. Because one of my major values is family. My kids mean a lot to me. Um,
Sure.
and the more I master myself and do better, they're going to do better. And that's the best thing I can give them. So,
What's the hardest part of now knowing what you know and talking to other people and trying to get them to, like, understand what you know?
oh, like, you have to take that time to focus. I know you can get busy with kids, and there's times I was doing the journal, I'll put them to sleep and I'll be up late at night journaling the exercises and writing it down. You really have to do the work, and you try to make these excuses of why you can't do it, or you're busy, or you don't want to do it, you're tired, or you're crying, you're all in your emotions. Just do it. Do the work. It will change your life, and it will change your, I say, mindset. And your vibration will be totally different. And I mean, and some people pray to a higher power, I pray to God and all that other stuff, but like, this will change the course of your life. And just do the work. Do the work. It's worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. And your kids are worth it if you have a family value. And I thought it was like, it's just like this, I've been to a counselor, for stuff, and that didn't change my life. This changed my life. And it changed my kid's life. And I wanted to change my family's life for a legacy that would change my grandkids' life in the future. And I have to make the choice that no matter what happens, I'm going to do the effing work, and I'm going to get it done so my family can have a better life. And then I can make an impact for my mission or my purpose in the future. It's got to get done. Just finding the time to do it, to focus. You can find it out. You can drop things. You can drop Netflix. You can drop coffee time. Find the work to do the work. And my life, it changed my life. So, um, And I
And
don't
what
want
was it? Just a Facebook ad or something? How did you find
Facebook
it?
ad. Yes, there was a video on Facebook, and you're just talking, and I'm like, I've never heard anybody talk like this before, and I just kept watching it, and then I was watching on YouTube, and I'm like, what is this? And then you had the financial mastery class. I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to
Mhm.
do it because what he's saying makes sense. Nothing else has worked. So
It's funny.
let's
People usually come into my world as a last resort, not a first resort. And if they
yeah,
save
it,
themselves a lot of headache, it becomes so much easier if they do. But
it
I guess when you're sitting there, you did the work, so that's amazing that you did that. Your children's life is completely different now.
yeah,
Your family life is different. You're holding yourself to a different level of accountability.
yeah.
I mean, what's next for Tasha now? Where's the sky take you?
I, I don't know. I want to see how far I can go. I want to be able to, basically help orphans and children or children who have dealt with rejection and self-value because it's impacted my life so much. I want to be able to contribute to charities in the future and make as much money as I can to help others. And then even with, my sister has gone through domestic violence, help other people because I feel like I should give back once you
Mhm.
receive something like that. And I just want to use the skills and talents I have and create more money, more income to give back to help others, and then also travel the world and have my
Well, why
own
not,
personal
right?
experiences. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy some
Why
of
not?
that.
Of course, of course. I think that's amazing. Look,
Yeah,
the reality is this: is that you've earned the right to be able to play at that different level. Now, when you're working in this job in this role, how grateful are you for your company? Are you for the job?
I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and honestly, it's been the easiest type of work I've ever done. And I can't. I always thought money was hard, and it's not as easy. And I've never been in this position where I'm just grateful that during the pandemic, I survived the whole pandemic. Everybody was going through things, and I'm just grateful that during the pandemic, because the pandemic happened in 2020, and I started in 2020. So 3 months in, I had job security where everybody was losing everything, and I was still able to work from home and do everything I need to do with that income. Um, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. It just changed my life. I don't have a loss of words, but I'm really grateful for that opportunity. And I'm looking forward that there are more. I have more enthusiasm that there's more opportunities for me in the future, more possibilities that could be open except for just one. And I think somebody said making six figures was the hardest thing, but 60 days, that was easy. If you think about it, that was easy. Um,
So I've had a chance to meet and interview a lot of fairly wealthy people in the course of my lifetime, and they all said this was so true. Making seven figures was the hardest thing, and and I've been there, and I've made seven figures, and I've lost seven figures, right? And but the truth was is that making seven figures was tough because it was just a place in our mind. We thought the million was a big deal,
yeah,
but if you replace the million and you say it's 1,000, it's like it's not that big a deal
yeah,
because once you do it once, you can do it again and again and again and again and again. It's not a challenge of how to do it again. It's like, oh, once you make the first million, you can replicate it again and again, and that's the simple part about it. But here's the thing: you can't get to the million without the consciousness of 5 million, right? You can't
wow,
get to the million without the consciousness of 5 million. But people think, oh, just the million, and your current net worth is your self worth, and if your self worth isn't worth 5 million, your bank account isn't going to show you a million because you've got to be expanded more spiritually in or energetically than you are materially in that space. It just is.
wow,
And so people confuse that inside that. But making first six figures is tough. Now you've done that, right?
yeah,
But here's the thing that's so important to understand, Tasha, is people will say, okay, I went to six figures. I'm making, 100 grand, 150 grand. Let me shoot to a million. But that's a big mistake because in between 150,000, there's 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500, 6,000, 600, 700, 800, 900. Then you get to a million. And each different level has a different level of management and growth that comes along in that you've got to master in yourself to be able to take yourself to that next place. So your current environment is not a reflection of your beliefs, they're a reflection of your most primary and most emotion. And when your primary and most emotion is anything other than love, you shut down the pathway for wealth to enter into your life and
wow,
you open the door for desperation and money to leave your life. So you healed many of those wounds that are there. Now there's more, right? Of course there is. And you know that, and I know that too. And for everyone listening and watching this right now, we all have them. I have them. You have them. Like, it's part of life. Bill Gates has them, for crying out loud, right? That's life. But the more we master ourselves, the better we do to heal ourselves. And the more we heal ourselves, the more we do for our health. That's why we talk about mind, money, and health. Those are the three most important things, in my opinion, at least in this community. Because if you can focus on your mind, you focus on your health, right? If you can focus on your mind, you focus on your money. And if you focus on your mind, you can focus on your family. Like, it's all interconnected. The money is the outer part. The health is the inner part. Together we make mind, body connect as one. That's what you did. And so I'm super proud of you and super, grateful you did the work, took the time and the effort to do the work. And I hope that anybody who's watching this, takes you as a story of inspiration and sees that, look, here's someone who did the work and changed her life, but she did the fucking work. She did not stop. She did the fucking work. She kept on doing the work. And that's what made her the person she is today. Tasha, I can't thank you enough for being who you are, for being here, for sharing your time, your energy, your love with anyone else. Final things you want to share to people that's on your mind or your heart that you'd like to tell people?
Keep moving forward. Don't let yourself stop you from your next level in life, because you don't know what it's going to be. It could be something that you'd never even imagined that was possible. And then just keep climbing. Take the time to do the effing work. Like, seriously, you're worth it. You deserve it. Your family's worth it. Stop stalling. Stop procrastinating. I mean, you're a couple steps away of changing your whole life. And I want you to have the same thing that I had. And I have new opportunities that I didn't even think that I had possible years ago. And my life is still growing. And I want to go on to the next level after that. Keep growing, keep learning, and find love and value yourself. It's worth more money just to love yourself. And that's coming from an adopted kid that was rejected. And I try to love myself every day and find value in myself, because without that, you're broke, you're empty on the inside. So yeah, thank you.
There you have it. From living in her car to earning 6 figures in 60 days. That's what this is all about. Change the course of your life, rewire your life, live a life that's inspired. I want to thank you all for listening, for being here. I'm Dr. Alok Trivedi, aka Dr. Rewire. Thank you again. I'll see you on another episode.
Thank you so much again. Thank you, Dr. T.
Hey guys, if you like that video, click on the link over here and you're going to love the next video.